Hello. Hello. I'm back. um yeah, I did not do a stream on Saturday like I was hoping to because last week was very busy. Um Lots of things happening and so it just didn't work out, but we're back. We're here. We are here once again to do some writing. We're doing another one shot for a couple of characters from my book. Again, with no spoilers, hopefully. um, I do my best. I do my best not to spoil things. Spoilers are for Patreon, not for Twitch. Um, but yeah, if you remember, last Monday we wrote a Cedric and Sky one shot, where Cedric accidentally yeeted himself off a cliff and died. Um, and that got uploaded to AO3 and to Patreon. There's going to be a little bit of a difference starting with this one shot. Instead of posting, well, it's going to be posted to both places, but I'm only going to post what we write on stream to AO3. If you want the entire thing, that's going to be on Patreon. Obviously, I'm going to stop it at a point that like you can still enjoy the entire story as a standalone. I don't want it to be a situation where you can't enjoy the story. So like, I have a plan for how I'm going to do it. It's basically just like the ending that's only going to be on Patreon. But as you might have seen from the go live notification and the title, we are introducing two new characters, A and River. I'm very excited because I really like these characters. I like all my characters. I don't have any of like my main cast of characters that that I don't like, which is good because they're my main cast of characters. There's a lot of them though. Honestly, we're going through like 14 characters. There's 14 characters that we're going through right now. So let me switch over to this screen. So obviously we don't have a title for the story yet, because that can't happen until the story has been written. But we've got, because I forgot to write this at the beginning of the Cedric and Sky one shot, and so I had to write that while I was trying to talk. But I wrote it out right before stream. The premise for this one shot is A trying to kill River in their shared base. So obviously that's going to cause a little bit of drama. As it happens when you kill your ally. So yeah, so I'm going to spend the next couple of hours. Well, can you hear the garbage truck? Also, just so everyone's aware, whether you're here now or watching the VOD, because for some reason I don't get notifications when people like the VODs, but I looked at it and apparently I have some likes on the VODs on YouTube, so I'm guessing people are watching that. But anyway, I am kind of cutting back a little bit on all of the content I've been posting, because I have been posting a lot of content. That's mostly for Patreon, because I have cut back a lot on AO3 content because I'm not writing fan fiction as much. But I'm sticking to 2 streams a week because I tried to do 3 last week, and that's why we didn't have a Saturday stream, is because I streamed on Patreon on Wednesday, and because that week was already really busy, it was really stressful trying to be like, I'm gonna have to do 3 streams this week. So I didn't do Saturday stream because I really needed that day to rest and have a chance to do some stuff for my book, because I was getting to the point where I was doing so much content for like streaming and Patreon and setting up the next project that I have going on, which I'm going to talk about a little bit today. I was doing so much that I didn't have like any time to work on my book, and that's kind of a problem, because the reason I'm doing all of this is so that people will be interested in my book, right? Like that's the point. So I do a once monthly live stream on Patreon, and that's what I did this past week on Wednesday, and it was a lot of fun. We had a good time. After it took me half an hour to figure out how to set it up, but once that was figured out, it was a lot easier. So my thought is I'm going to stick to 2 streams a week, and on the week that I do the Patreon live stream, instead of trying to do 3 streams, I will replace one of the streams for Twitch with a stream for Patreon. And so that week there will only be 1 public live stream, because I need to take care of myself. There will still be hopefully the once weekly post of these one-shots on AO3 and Patreon. It just depends on like which live stream gets replaced by the Patreon live stream. But that's kind of like the public stuff. I have other stuff that gets posted on Patreon, obviously, but you'll still get the twice weekly live streams if all goes well, and the once weekly posts of these one shots again if all goes well. I am hoping so when I'm moving, and I don't know when I'm moving yet. When I move, okay, if you've watched Mumbo's latest video where they talk about the weird quirks of the hermits, like how some of the hermits play Minecraft weird. Cleo sits on the couch. And that sounds weird initially, right? Because why wouldn't you do it at a desk? And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, as someone who has a lot of pain, who develops pain and weakness from sitting in a chair, would I be able to do more work if I was sitting on the couch? Like if my desk was set up in front of the couch. Like they have their keyboard in their lap, and they have their mouse next to them. So I would have something like propping that up, or I would have it on my desk, something like that. But what would I be able to do more work? Would I be able to do more on my computer if it was set up in front of the couch and I was able to sit on the couch? So when I move, because I don't have the space to try to fiddle with that now, when I move, I'm going to try to set it up like that, because I'm going to have 2 couches, so I'll have more room. And the living room is just bigger than the living room I have here. So I'm going to fiddle with that, which may mean when I move that couple weeks, there may not be as many streams or any streams at all. It just depends on the situation. But I'm hoping if I set it up that way, I'll be able to do more. And so you may get more content either that, like, either there will be more public content or my book writing will fly off the wall because I'll be able to write as much as I want to. So anyway, that's something that of like in a few months or a few weeks, like whenever I'm able to move in there, when that happens, I'll fiddle with that and we'll see how it goes. Because it may end up being worse, but if it's better, then that is really good. Also, I'm not making any promises, but I'm filming something on Wednesday. I am filming on Wednesday. I've talked about this project before, but I don't know if I want to talk about it again necessarily. But I'm filming something on Wednesday. So something might be coming out on Thursday. And if you have any specific sections or specific one-shots, like fan fictions that I've posted that you enjoy a lot, please send them to me. If you want me to just find a section in a specific one-shot, just send me the name. You can put it in the Twitch chat. You can comment. You can send it to me on Instagram. You can comment on the one-shot. Any of those options, please do that, because I'm trying to gather short snippets from different stories that I've written to do something with them. And if you remember what it is, then we can talk about it. But if you don't, because it's theoretically coming out in a few days, I'm going to leave it. But if you have specific snippets of stories that I've written that you want me to use for this project, please keep them short. Like between 1 and 3 paragraphs. Like that's the amount of length that I'm looking for at the moment. If it's a bit longer, that's fine. Like the longest I would want is like 5 paragraphs. Not any longer than that. So like not a whole conversation kind of thing. Or if you just really like a one shot, you can comment on it and just say Cozy Corner, or you know, you talked about this on Twitch, can you use this for your project? You know, that kind of thing. Just let me know what it's for and I'll look through it. But if you have like a specific section that you really like, please send it to me or comment with that section. And then like give the context for why you're commenting that section. But please do that before Wednesday. If you can. If you don't do it before Wednesday, that's fine, because this is something that's ongoing. But yeah, I'm filming on Wednesday, so I'd like to have a whole bunch by Wednesday if possible. But again, if you're not able to do that, then no worries. Anyway, it's been 17 minutes, so why don't... That's enough about announcements. We can talk more about that as the stream goes on. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if people show up as the stream goes on, then we'll talk about it some more. Okay. The question is, another question is, do we want this to be from A or River's perspective? I think I want it to be from River's perspective, personally. That's because last time we had Cedric as the main character, and Cedric's the one who died. And this time, well, keyword tries. I'll just say that, keyword tries. May not have been successful, but we'll see what happens. Who knows? Who knows what'll happen? Okay. I am gonna try to stop before the ending, just so the ending doesn't get spoiled for those on Patreon. But yeah. Ah. I was playing Minecraft on the Patreon stream. I won't say what I was doing, but I was playing Minecraft on the Patreon stream. And I'm so used to writing. Like, I've gotten so used to being able to, like, talk, not while I'm writing, but talk and write, you know, during a stream. I kept going silent while I was playing Minecraft because I'm not used to streaming while playing Minecraft. I'm so used to like just be watching a video or listening to a podcast or listening to music and playing Minecraft, not talking at all. It was a whole thing. I kept catching myself like being silent for several seconds, like long seconds. Oh, it was a whole thing. River hums to herself, spinning the sword around her wrist. Or would it be? It wouldn't be her wrist, it would be her hand. Would it? Would it? I've seen people do this, but I've never been able to do it myself. It's like the back of the hand, right? Like it's between the thumb and finger, spinning it around that way. Like it's definitely not around the wrist because then you don't have any grip on it. Okay. River hums to herself, spinning the sword around her hand as she wanders through the forest toward her home shared with A. By the way, I have Grammarly enabled now, so periodically I'm going to get something wrong. And then Grammarly will tell me that I did it wrong and we'll figure it out. Or it'll be something for premium and it won't tell us what's wrong. Okay. River hums to herself, spinning the sword around her hand as she wanders through the forest toward her home shared with A. The sun beams down. Hi, Nini. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Oh, goodness. The sun beams down between the leaves. You're fine, and me. I'm doing all right. I cut an optic migraine off at the pass, and I've noticed that I get really tired when I have optic migraine, so that's fun. I just did a whole bunch of announcements at the beginning of the stream, but I'll repeat this one now that you're here. If you have any sections of one-shots or stories on my AO3 or Patreon that you enjoy, or like the one-shots in general, or like specific snippets of the one-shots or stories, please send them to me, either through here or Instagram, or comment on it, because I'm collecting snippets for a thing that I'm filming on Wednesday. But obviously, if you don't feel able to do that, then no worries. I need to look through them myself too. But it would be very helpful if I had like help, you know what I mean? But I don't. No worries if not. Okay, yeah. Oh, goodness. The sun beams down through the leaves, clinging to the branches. I wrote something for the second book yesterday, and I want to talk about it, but I can't. Because it's for the second book. It's not even for the first book, Nini. You don't understand. But anyway, as you can see, today we're doing another death. We're almost death because tries. But we have two new characters. We have A and River. And A tries to kill River. So that'll be fun. I am, just so everyone's aware, I am really tired this morning. I haven't been sleeping well. I keep having nightmares. So I am tired. So if I sound loopy or I just talk randomly and my brain jumps around more than usual, that's what... Nini's like, I know. Nini knows the secrets. Have you figured it out, Nini? I don't think I've written. Out of curiosity, which one-shots have I written for Patreon? I don't remember. Okay, we've got that one. That one. That one. That one. Oh, no, that one hasn't come out. Never mind. Although, you know, there are secrets. There's secrets in the one-shots. I'm so loopy today, guys. It's a problem. My hair is pink again. As I mentioned that I'm going to be very off topic a lot today. My Oma dyed my hair yesterday, so it's very pink and I'm very happy with it. So many secrets, one day you will solve them. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Yeah. This, like, I like writing things where to get all of the answers, you kind of have to figure some of them out yourself. Because I'm kind of like stepping away from Your Embers at my fingertips, there may come a day where I make a post about Oak. Not Oak. You did not hear that name. About Etho. Don't worry about Oak. Oak doesn't matter. We're putting them over there. Etho. Oh no. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, moving on. I might make a post about Etho at some point because there's stuff about Etho that may not ever really, like, may not get talked about. I also might write a one-shot about Etho. I haven't decided, but because I'm not, you know, yeah, it doesn't matter. Sure. Nini's taking notes. Because Etho's like a character that has such an interesting, like, mysterious backstory that nobody knows about. At the same time, Etho is sort of... Etho has... I gave one of my characters... I gave Etho a similar backstory to one of my characters who had that backstory first. So I don't know if I want to do that because then it might accidentally spoil one of my characters. Because it's not the same, but it's like, it's similar. You know what I mean? I might just wait until their backstory gets revealed, and then go from there. That's not gonna be for a while though. Oh, it's so bad because like Your Embers hasn't come out yet, and I'm like halfway done, like over halfway done with the second book. It's a problem, guys. It's a problem. I'm gonna finish this entire trilogy, and the first book's not gonna be out. Although there's like 3 weeks in the summer that I'm not gonna be able to work on it at all, because I'm gonna be really busy. Okay. River hums to herself, spinning the sword around her hand as she wanders through the forest toward her home shared with A. The sun beams down between the leaves clinging to the branches, casting a warm glow across River's dark hair and skin. My brain has decided not to work today for some reason, guys. But it happens like this. I get streamer brain so easily. We're all aware of this. This is what we come to for this is why you come to Hawk streams, because Hawk gets distracted and loopy. By the way, Shadow was here for the first like 20 minutes of this stream, and then she abandoned me, so you know. She was here for a little bit. I feel like I should take the Your Embers at my fingertips Nightbot alert off. Yeah, you missed Shadow, but maybe she'll be back. Because like it's been several weeks since that was relevant, you know? I don't know. I'll think about it. Honestly, as soon as the stream ends, I forget Nightbot exists. It's my decision. Yeah. I don't know. I might leave it because that might be like what people are coming from, you know? And that is like the biggest fan fiction project I've done. I think I'll leave it for now. It'll probably get replaced when Your Embers comes out. Like, it'll definitely be gone at that point, because then Your Embers is the biggest project I've done. And so, it's more important. I think I have gotten to the point with Your Embers where I'm done, like, adding things to it. I keep, like, adding details to it. I think I'm done with it now. I think I can leave it as it is. I think it's... I don't know. I say that, and then I'll probably think of something else to add. Like, at this point, the only things I'm adding are, like, minor details. So, it's not a big deal. Like, it doesn't change too much. I just have to go in and, you know, correct things, add things to it. I'm very distracted. Okay. Features. along, wait, skittering through the brush and chimes with them owning monsters lurking shadows. I have zombies show up quite frequently, because it's like there are different kinds of monsters, right? Like we know that there are zombies from the Cedric and Sky one shot from last week. So we could do a zombie again, or we could introduce a different monster. Because there are several. Skedrick, yes. Skedrick owns our hearts. I wanted to do another Skedrick one-shot today, and I was like, no, I have to do other characters too. I can't just do them. Hello, Metroid Hunter. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Hope your day is going well. We're doing some writing with some characters from my book. We'll do well. The thing is, zombies are the ones that tend to be like around most frequently. Like the other ones are really only sectioned off to different areas to a certain extent, or come out at night. You know? We'll do a zombie. Out of the lush woods onto the path of her. With its with arms. How do I describe this in a way that works? Reaching out at her. In front of, in front of her, reaching out at her. Its flesh has begun slipping off of its arms. Its pointy fingernails dead. What do dead fingernails look like? Let's research time. This is gonna be great for my search history. What do dead fingernails look like? I'm guessing it's black. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just describe it as black. That's great for my search history. It's amazing the things that show up in my search history, guys. Yep. The life of its pointy fingernails are dead and black. Okay. Zombie stumbles out of the lush woods onto the path in front of River, reaching out at her. Its flesh has begun slipping off of its arms, and its pointy fingernails are dead and black. Wonderful. Great image. I don't do a lot of, like, gory stuff, but, you know. I don't know if this even counts as gore. All I'm describing is flesh slipping off of its arms. It's up to you to decide if it's gory or not. At one point when I was playing D&D, when I was in high school, so my friends didn't have like the problem that I do with gore, and so like they were describing somebody dying very like in depth, and I was getting so uncomfortable. I do not appreciate gore most of the time. It's very uncomfortable. Anyway. I catch myself doing this every stream. I think I talk about it a lot. Because I have OBS pulled up most of the time while I'm streaming so I could like look at everything, I end up writing looking into OBS because it has like the document open on the screen. So because I'm looking at chat out of the corner of my eye and writing, I end up looking at OBS. I was doing that while streaming Minecraft on Patreon too. Ah. I do it every stream. It's a thing. It's convenient. Yeah, I'm doing it again, Nini, because I'm looking at at chat out of the corner of my eye, and so I'm all, it's fine. It works, So the sudden presence? No. Present. No. How do I spell? Okay, that's how you spell. Words. English is a thing. So the sudden presence of running monster. Grips her sword and swipes out, knocking the rotting zombie's head right off of its neck. Ah. Well, its head lies. Sorry, I'm writing this entire paragraph and just like randomly reading it out. I'll finish this sentence. I'll finish this sentence and then we'll look at what's happened so far. While its head lies motionless on the dirt, the body continues limping towards her. Kick to its chest. Body continues aimlessly. I can't say aimlessly. Because it can't be aimlessly limping at some, like in a direction, like directly towards somebody. Toppling. Whoa. How do you... Toppling. I'm really struggling. Okay. Sunbeam, no. Okay, we can do that. Toppling to the ground, allowing River to jump over it and dart down the path. Okay. Okay, now we'll read it. A zombie stumbles out of the lush woods onto the path in front of River, reaching out at her. Its flesh has begun slipping off its arms, and its pointy fingernails are dead and black. At this point, River and the others have been here for a while now, so the sudden presence of a groaning monster doesn't do much to shock her. Instead, face blank, River grips her sword firmly and swipes out, knocking the rotting zombie's head right off of its neck. I don't think we need that. We can take that out. Off its neck. While its head lies motionless on the dirt, the body continues aimlessly limping in her general direction. A kick to its chest easily sends it toppling to the ground, allowing River to jump over it and dart down the path. Okay. I'm happy with that, I think. Okay. Okay. So what are we doing now? So we need to get her to we need to get her back to her house. And then okay. So basically what we're doing, the trap that A has laid out for River. I don't think I'm going to tell you why this is happening. I think that's something I'll save for later. So essentially what happened was A dug down behind their front door. So like there's like a hole right right inside their house, right beside the front door. So like you walk in, and if you're not paying attention, you fall into the hole. That's the thought, essentially. And there's a bunch of like spikes at the bottom, like, you know, wooden spikes that she's carved in order to kill River. And I'm not going to tell you why this is happening. That is for later. So my thought is that's going to happen, and then River is still holding on to the doorknob as she's swinging in. And so instead of falling into the pit, she manages to swing around to land on the floor next to the pit. So she doesn't actually fall in, and then a fight ensues because we love fight scenes. We love fight scenes in this Twitch stream. Okay. Yes, fight scene. Yes, we love fight scenes. I love writing fight scenes. I don't write enough of them because what I'm writing right now is the second book, and there's not a lot of fight. Well, there's some fight scenes, but there's not a lot of fight scenes. I won't say anything more than that because that's the oh my god, you guys don't understand, because what's gonna end up happening is like Your Embers is gonna come out like at the end of this year. It depends on if I'm like traditionally publishing or self-publishing, which I'm kind of leaning to self-publishing at this point. If I'm self-publishing, then it's gonna come out like the end of this year or the beginning of next year. And so that means that I'm gonna have to wait like 6 months like 6 or 9 months or something after Your Embers comes out for the next book to come out. And then I'm gonna have to wait another 6 or 9 months for the last book to come out. Like, you guys don't understand how, like, tired, like, how stressful that is. It's like, I don't get to talk about what I'm writing right now. Because I don't want to spoil it for you, you know? Like, I want you guys to be able to fully enjoy it. But it will be a lot of fun when Your Embers comes out and we get to talk about that. Like, that... I want to do, like, what Katie and I did for the end of Your Embers at My Fingertips, where we do a book stream when Your Embers comes out, because we did that for Connected too, and so I'm hoping she'll want to do a book stream with me. If she doesn't, I'll probably do a book stream on my own, just because I want the opportunity to, like, talk about it. But it's always more fun when you have someone with you. But that's something that she and I will have to talk about as we get closer, because we're not anywhere near that yet. But that's gonna be so great, like, being able to talk about all of that. And it'll probably be like a few weeks after the book releases, because I'm gonna do a pre-order. My thought is I'll do a pre-order, and then when everybody has gotten, like, when people have started getting their books, then it's like a few weeks after that we'll do the book stream, like that kind of thing. But that's not gonna be for so long. Okay, anyway, back on track. We really need, like, an Earth to Hawk point redemption. When I get point redemptions, that's definitely going to be one of them. Okay. Where were we? Okay, she's fought the zombie. Quite. Nope. Quite. If I could spell correctly. Well, some of the zombies can be quite quick on their feet. River has noticed that one's missing heads are not. For one thing they can no longer see or hear the person or people they're attacking. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I kind of, like, you know, generally zombies are pretty slow, like, in media. But I kind of have my zombies be fairly quick. For reasons that I'm not going to explain. Wait, hold on. Oh, I can't show this one to you. Never mind. I was gonna, like... I was gonna show you where one of the... Well, I could show you this. Hold on. Series... It was this one. So you guys remember this one shot? Yeah, that didn't dox me. I always get nervous when I pull something onto the next screen. I'm like, am I about to dox myself? You guys remember this one? Where, like, this one shot where these boys disconnected? You guys remember? Oh, I can't tell you that. Oops. Okay, so essentially, this section was inspired by something I did with some of my characters. I won't tell you if it was canon or not. Well, yeah, I won't tell you if it was canon or not. But like this section specifically, I took from another one shot that I wrote with some of my characters, but I'm not saying if it's canon or not. Figure it out if you want to. But I was like, I didn't know what to do. Like, I wanted to use that for like one of these one shots. I was like, well, maybe it's canon, maybe it's not. So I used that for this. Take that as you will. take that as you will. Okay. Interesting, yeah. Don't worry about it. I'm so bad at not talking about stuff, guys. You don't understand how difficult it is. I really can't wait to see if sitting on the couch with like my desk in front of me will actually make it easier to work, because it might mean like I'm able to do more things. Because I don't know if you were here earlier, but I was talking about like if you watched Mumbo's latest video where they were ranking how weird some of the hermits play Minecraft and Cleo sits on the couch, I genuinely think that might actually help me, because when I'm sitting on the couch, I'm much more comfortable. Like, it doesn't make my legs weak to sit on the couch, but sitting in a chair makes my legs weak and hurt. So when I move, because I'm going to have two couches and more space, I'm going to set up my desk in front of one of the couches, so that I can see if doing that will help with my pain. Because then it might mean that I'm able to do more on my computer, which would help a lot with like editing and writing and streaming and playing Minecraft and like all of that stuff that I can only do in sections of the day rather than throughout the day. Like right now I can only sit at my desk for 2 hours maximum before I really start having to worry about being in pain when I stand up. So that's something I'm going to try when I move, but I don't know when I'm moving yet, and I don't have the space to try it now. After 10 minutes of skillfully not dating, darting along the path. River can hear the rushing of water from nearby. That's how you spell the name, not the thing. She's nearly back to her base. She's nearly back to hers. She's back to the base. Dangers. Can find her there. There. She's safe. Sure. Okay. After a few minutes of skillfully darting along the path, River can hear the rushing of water from a nearby brook. She's nearly back to the base. No dangers can find her there. There, she's safe. She should have known better. Foreshadowing. Grammarly, do you have something to say? No, you don't, because I don't have premium. It's just in this corner over here. Grammarly's like, you have 5 things incorrect. And I was like, you're not telling me what they are. And they're not, it's not going to tell me what they are. I hate that Grammarly doesn't like. Grammarly's like, you have to pay if you want the answer to everything. I'm like, ah. Just like, Grammarly, just tell me. Okay. Recalls as she arrives. Okay, what did I have notes for this. Let me pull them up. No, that's not it. There we go, that's it. Okay, so they dug into a hill. That's what it was. They dug into a hill. She arrives at the entrance to there. She calls as she arrives at the entrance to their home. Their home of a hollowed out hill. River calls as she arrives at the entrance to their home of a hollowed out hill. Answer. River grabs the wooden knob on the door. Casually swing it open. Just as she pushes it, she senses. So, just so everyone's aware, River is an amber, which, if you don't remember from last stream, means that she has the life ability. And what kind of goes into that is she she can sense like other people's life forces. Um, Theoretically, she could heal people, but River doesn't have that ability. So let me notes are good. We love to have notes. With this book, I wrote a lot of notes. um, okay, so they can sense life forces, they can track beings, and they can feel bodily reactions to stimuli. So that's like what a base amber can do. Um, there are several variations of this, but that is something that we will potentially get into with other characters, or you'll have to wait for the book. But that's what the base amber can do. So that's what River has able to do. Finally, more information about ambers. Yeah, that's kind of what's gonna happen. Is like we'll introduce a character that has that ability, and then that's when I'll talk about it in more depth. Because like I can talk about all of the abilities as much as I want, but until you have like a character to match it to, it's probably not gonna stick. You know what I mean? Okay. Just as she pushes it, she senses A's life force creeping up behind her. Things start to play out in slow motion. Things start to play out in slow motion. Hands push against her back. Her hand stays tightly gripped on the doorknob. The floor goes out. Oh, no. Air. A sharp gust of air. After this, as you can see, that kind of tells you what A is. But I'll get into A's ability in a moment. The floor goes out beneath her to reveal hit with sharp spikes lining the bottom. River swings. It's all she can do to latch both hands tightly on the door and throw herself toward solid ground beside the pits. Okay. A sharp gust of air pushes against her back. Her hand stays tightly gripped on the doorknob. The floor goes out beneath her to reveal a pit with sharp spikes lining the bottom, and River swings to the side. It's all she can do to latch both hands tightly on the door and throw herself towards solid ground beside the pit. So you might have noticed that A has the air ability. So that means that she is a topaz. It's basically just the ability to manipulate air. There is a variation, but again, that's something that you'll either meet with other characters or have to wait until the book for, because A does not have those variations. But yeah, essentially the air ability is just the ability to manipulate air. So it's very simple. But yeah, it's very simple for the most part, just like in basic description. But obviously there's other things you can do with it. I'm really just getting in the zone with it. I'm not. Oh goodness. Groaning, she looks at the entrance to their home, find A standing there. To find A standing there. Frustration facing the lines of her face. Okay. Groaning, she looks at the entrance to their home to find A standing there, frustration lacing the lines of her face. What are you doing? I'm just staring at OBS again. Oh my goodness. Okay. What in death's realm, A? River shouts, dragging herself to her feet with the help of the sturdy wall. What are you doing? Yeah. Look at that. Okay, anyway. Sometimes when I leave, like, clues to the lore of the world, I, like, just do this. Just, you know, what does this mean? I don't know. Anyway. I feel bad when I make promises about like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this thing on this day, like content wise, and then it gets to that day and I'm like, I literally can't. So I'm trying not to make promises with it anymore, which is why earlier I was like, I'm hoping that there will be something posted on Thursday, but I don't know. Like, I have enough things set up for it to be posted on Thursday, but it also depends on what happens on Wednesday. And like a lot of the time, like I'll say like on Monday, oh yeah, I'm gonna stream on these days, and then it gets to those days and I'm like, I can't stream today. I feel bad about it, which is like, that's why I don't have like a schedule set up on Twitch. It's like, this is what I'm doing on this day, you know what I mean? Because then, like, so I'm trying not to make those promises anymore. I'm trying to be like, you know, hopefully this is what's going to happen. Like when I posted the new content schedule on Patreon, I was like, this is what I want to happen. This is what I'm aiming for, but we're gonna have to see. Like I have it set up so it happens that way. But it really depends on, you know, what life does and what my illness does. Okay, how should A react? Like, that's the question. You guys don't know who A is, so you don't know how A should react, but I have to figure out how A should react. What color eyes does A have? Let's go to the backstory document. A has brown eyes. A throws her hand out, tossing a ball of sharp air at River. River manages to leap out of the way. She lands in the center of the main room, across the pit from A. Now we're in the fight scene, but we've got a pit in between them. Doesn't make things easy. Oh, I know how this can work. I know how this can work. River stares at A disbelief. She was trying to push. Aren't they allies? Why? River stammers. We're friends, aren't we? Betrayals are so sad. Hydrate time, everybody. Get your water. Ah, no, that's definitely not what we wanted to happen. Oh, that's too harsh. No, that's too harsh. We're not gonna do that. That's too harsh. We don't want to be too mean in this story. That would be sad. Propelling her toward the pit once more. This one's actually going to be pretty short, it's looking like. Because I know how I want it to end, and I can't write the ending on Twitch because that's supposed to be just for Patreon. So this one's going to be pretty short, so we'll have to find something else to do. Well, what we could do is after this is done, we could look through AO3 and like look at some of my one-shots and try to find some snippets together. Do you think that would be entertaining? Because if not, then it's just going to be a short stream. Sounds good? Okay, we can do that. Disappears into their base. Moments later, charm dings from River's wrist, but she can't focus on it over pounding her own heart. It's only when she doesn't hear anything coming from inside that a pit, exactly like the trap A had devised, drops into her stomach. Quickly, frantically opening the hologram on her wrist reveals a terrible truth. He died. Oh, that's the question. That's a question. Gotta check my notes really quick. Where's A? Okay. A died. 2 lives remaining. Oh no. And that's where we're gonna leave that. This is just gonna be a short one. That's okay. Sometimes they're short. Sometimes one-shots can be really long, and sometimes they can be really short, and this one's just gonna be short. I hate writing short stuff, but I'm getting better at it. I'm trying to keep the one-shots short because, like, in the past, I've written one-shots, and you can see this on my AO3. I've written one-shots that are literally the length of the chapters I write for my books. And I don't want to do that all the time because it takes me 3 hours to write that for the most part. And I don't want to keep doing that. Like, especially because I'm trying to keep it within the 2-hour range. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's read what we've written. And then we'll switch to finding snippets from some of my fan fictions. And if you have any suggestions for that, please let me know. River hums to herself, spinning the sword around her hand as she wanders through the forest toward her home shared with A. The sun beams down between the leaves clinging to their branches, casting a warm glow along River's dark hair and skin. The forest sings with the sounds of creatures skittering through the brush and chimes with the moaning and groaning of monsters lurking in the shadows. A zombie stumbles out of the lush woods onto the path in front of River, reaching out at her. Its flesh has begun slipping off its arms, and its pointy fingernails are dead and black. At this point, River and the others have been here for a while now, so the sudden presence of a groaning monster doesn't do much to shock her. Instead, face blank, River grips her sword firmly and swipes out, knocking the rotting zombie's head right off its neck. While its head lies motionless on the dirt, the body continues aimlessly limping in her general direction. A kick to its chest easily sends it toppling to the ground, allowing River to jump over it and dart down the path. While some of the zombies can be quite quick on their feet, River has noticed that the ones missing heads are not. For one thing, they can no longer see or hear the person or people they're attacking. After a few minutes of skillfully darting along the path, River can hear the rushing water from a nearby brook. She's nearly back to the base. No dangers can find her there. There, she's safe. She should have known better. A, River calls as she arrives at the entrance to their home of a hollowed-out hill. When there's no answer, River grabs the wooden knob on the door, preparing to casually swing it open. Just as she pushes it, she senses A's life force creeping up behind her. Things start to play out in slow motion. A sharp gust of air pushes against her back. Her hand stays tightly gripped on the doorknob. The floor goes out beneath her to reveal a pit with sharp spikes lining the bottom, and River swings to the side. It's all she can do to latch both hands tightly on the door and throw herself toward solid ground beside the pit. River rolls along the stone floor, banging her head against the dirt wall with a thud. Groaning, she looks at the entrance to their home to find A standing there, frustration lacing the lines of her face. Ugh, I'm having trouble reading. "What in Death's realm, A?" River shouts, dragging herself to her feet with the help of the sturdy wall. "What are you doing?" A growls, narrowing her brown eyes into slits. "You were supposed to fall in." A throws her hands out, tossing a ball of sharp air at River, but River manages to leap out of the way. She lands in the center of the main room, across the pit from A. River stares at A in disbelief. She was trying to push River in? Aren't they allies? Why? River stammers. "We're friends, aren't we?" A snarls. "No." A reaches out and a sharp wind slams into River from behind, propelling her toward the pit once more. In a knee-jerk reaction, River reaches out, grabs onto A's arms, and uses her body to throw herself out of the house and back into the forest. A shouts in surprise and disappears into their base. Moments later, a chime dings from River's wrist, but she can't focus on it over the pounding of her own heart. It's only when she doesn't hear anything coming from inside that a pit exactly like the trap A had devised drops into her stomach. Frantically opening the hologram on her wrist reveals a terrible truth. A died, 2 lives remaining. Ooh, I think that's good for like a story on its own. Like you don't need the ending after. It's just like a little extra thing that you'll get on Patreon. So I think this is a good standalone, but you know, I think the ending will be good too, and I'll write that later today probably because I don't have anything else to do. But we've got like half an hour left. It's good? Okay. I'm glad. So let me just open. Let me go to that and open the snippets to use. And do we have a page break already? We do not. Okay. Okay, so now we have that open. And we will open AO3. Okay. First of all, do we have any specific one-shots that we like? Or any specific chapters or moments from Your Embers at My Fingertips? Because I want to find as many one-shots as we can within the next half an hour. Really quickly, I'm actually going to go to the bathroom, so that'll give you a little bit of time to think. I will be right back. I have returned. Also, they don't have to be from like Your Embers at My Fingertips one shots either. They can be from any one shot or story I've done. For people on Patreon, it can also be one shots I've done from Patreon. I will decide if they're too spoilery though, but you can also recommend those. And if you don't have any ideas, then we'll just pick a one shot, skim through it, see if we like any. And if you think of any after the stream, then you're more than welcome to DM me with them or comment on the one shot itself. But yeah, so we can we can just go through them in order technically and just see. Unless there's any suggestions. Okay. So we'll start with this one because this is from Your Embers technically. By the way, these things, like the thing I'm filming is going to be posted on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels. So you'll be able to see them on like any platform that I'm on. I don't think anyone knows about my TikTok right now. But it'll be on TikTok as long as TikTok doesn't get banned in the United States, which is a possibility. Okay, so we can skim through this. I don't want it to... Yeah, because we need it to be short is the thing. We could do this one. We could do... Okay, hear me out. Cedric rushes past Sky and walks backwards while Sky continues forward. I have something that will knock your socks off. Sky snorts and shakes his head fondly. Okay, look. Cedric picks up a tiny rock from the side of the ledge and holds it out. He closes his hand, making it seem as though it disappeared, before reaching behind Sky's ear to reveal it again. Before he has a chance to complete the move, Cedric, no! Sky reaches out to grab hold of Cedric's shirt, but he's too late. Cedric's foot slips and he plummets down, down, down until thump. I kind of like that. I think I'm gonna use this one. I think this will be good. What do we call that one though? What do we call it? I need a name for it. Magic trick gone wrong. That's perfect. Magic trick gone wrong. The problem with doing it from... Yeah, the problem with doing it from AO3 is that I have to rewrite it myself. Because it copies weird. So I'm just gonna quickly copy. If I could type correctly, that would be great. Guys, have you watched Call the Midwife? Because it's one of my favorite shows. I really like period pieces. So I watch The Gilded Age too. That's on HBO Max. But I watch it through Amazon Prime. I'm trying to think of something to talk while I'm typing this out. To be fair, I also can't see chat right now, so you might be answering and I won't be able to see it. I have to remake this entire page. There we go, I fixed it. I did not fix it. I'll fix it later, it's fine. How did this happen? I don't understand. just see what this is. Hold on, wait. Maybe you find a good part in the... Okay, on the frogfish at my fingertips. Yeah, I can do that. I need to figure out what I did with this. Oh, okay. I don't understand. I don't know what I did wrong. But this just happens. You know what? I have this. I don't know why I'm not doing this. I have all of these in a Google Doc. Why am I doing this from AO3? I have all of it in a Google Doc. I don't have that one in there. I have it in here. I'm making this so much more complicated than it needs to be. Why did I do this to myself? There we go. I fixed it. Okay. Okay, so here's what we'll do. I fixed it. Are you proud of me? Thank you. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna look on here, and then when we find one that we like a section that we like, I will find it in the Google Doc. And put it where it's supposed to be. Okay, so we're looking here. Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna go to Minecraft, and then I'm gonna go to Atla, and then I'm gonna go to streaming one-shots, and then I'm gonna go to one-shots, and then we're going to pull it over here, and we're gonna look at it. We're gonna just look at these one-shots for right now, unless we have another idea, and then we'll find that. So we're looking at the frogfish at my fingertips. So we've got B-Dubs like thinking to himself. Do we want to do when he's fighting with the frogfish? I think that's a good one. I think that's a good spot. But we can't do the whole thing is the problem. We could do up until he thinks stupid fish. Because that's when he gets smacked here. Yeah, so funny. Okay. So the frogfish leaps out of the water again and lands on the boat in front of him, letting out a loud rivet. B-Dubs narrows his eyes and tosses the... hold on, I'm going to change the title to this. Meeting A and River and looking looking through YEAMF one-shots. Okay, there we go. That's what we're doing. Beat-Ups narrows his eyes and tosses the net out again. The frogfish jumps back into the water with a splash. Another Beat-Ups grumble. Once more, the frogfish springs out of the water and lands on the bow of the boat. Beat-Ups narrows his eyes as the frogfish blinks. They engage in a staring contest, Beat-Ups with the net made of rope in both hands, and the frogfish watching him with void eyes. Beat-Ups squats down and amps up to wrap the net around his lunch, but just as he rushes forward, the frogfish leaps and smacks him in the face, sending him falling backwards off the boat and into the water with a loud splash. The boat capsizes and begins slowly floating downstream. Stupid fish, Beat-Ups grumbles to himself. I think that's good. We'll do that. I think we could also do the part with Etho, like when Etho shows up. Beat-Ups versus frogfish. That's what it's called. It's called Beat-Ups versus frogfish. Perfect name, I think. Okay. What part of... Okay, what if we did this? What if we did up to here? The man mutters under his breath and wanders aimlessly. When Beat-Ups falls in step beside him, he gets a better look at the man. The bloody bandage wrapped around his chest. The bloody bandage wraps... Frogfish 1, Beat-Ups 0. Exactly. Okay. The bloody bandage wraps around his chest and peeks through the top of his torn black shirt and muddy green jacket. A black mask coated in dried blood and crusty mud covers the lower half of his face. Beat-Ups can see a tiny flash of freshly burned skin poking up the man's cheek. One of the man's eyes is black, dull, and unfocused, like he's living in a world separate to this one. But the other eye is probably the most disturbing thing Beat-Ups has seen so far. There's nothing. It's an open hole. No eyeball lies within, and a brilliant red scar has slashed from above his eyebrow down under the mask. Goodness, Beat-Ups mumbles. What happened to you? I think that's good. By the way, the reason these are so short is because I'm trying to keep the videos, like the things that I'm filming, like, I want only like 30 seconds for each one. So I want it to be short. That's why I'm not doing like whole sections. But I think that's good. What do you think? Or should we have this part up here too? As Beat-Ups gets closer, he calls out, "Hey, where are you going?" Because that kind of, I don't know if we need that for this section. You know what I mean? I kind of think this is good, but this could also be a good introduction. It doesn't add too much like time to it. It's pretty short. So we could do, I think it's good as it is now. Okay, so we'll do this and come over here. What do we call that? We could call it the injured man. Yeah, we'll just call that, we'll just title that one The Injured Man. Okay. I don't know if there's anything else, because I don't know if we need anything else from this one. I think that's 2 from that one shot. I think that's good for now, unless there's another part you guys like. Because we could also do the dandelions thing. We could do this. Beat-Ups pushes the boat back into the waters and steps inside, grasping the paddle and pushing them along the river back in the direction of his village. The man stares to the sides of the boat, mumbling random words under his breath. "What's your name?" Beat-Ups asks, not really expecting to get an answer. The man's unfocused eye locks on Beat-Ups, and he says one word: dandelions. Then he looks away and goes back to muttering. We could do that, but I don't... Like, what do you think? What do you think? Is that good to do in a video? I kind of like it because it has, like, it includes the dandelions thing that nobody has figured out because there's no clues as to what it means. It's mysterious. Yeah. I think I'm gonna put it. I'll do it. I just don't know if it'll be like part of it. If you know what I mean. Yeah, I don't know why I was trying to copy and paste from AO3. This is so much easier. Because AO3 like copies and pastes really weird. Okay, so now we'll go to this one. This was the beginning of Third Life. It's been a while since I wrote this one. Or we could, are there any of the other ones that you guys think we should look at? Because we've got 9 minutes. Like we've got like 9 or 10 minutes left. So we have time for like one more to look through, I think. So pick one. you have your pick of one more one shot to look through. We've got Lizzie being, we've got the beginning of Third Life. We've got Lizzie meeting the listeners. We've got, what was this one? Oh, Scott being the boogeyman. We've got Tango getting captured during Your Embers at My Fingertips. We've got Scar watching everyone disappear. We've got Grian joining the Watchers. We've got the beginning of the Watchers being evil. We're not going to do the documents. Oh, and we've got Pearl bloodbending in front of Scott. You got your pick of one more one shot, and we'll go through that one, and then that'll be the end of the stream. Beginning of Third Life. All right, perfect. Do you have any ideas for what section, or are we just gonna we can just look through? We literally could do the beginning. With a sharp inhale, Pearl's river blue eyes fly open. As soon as her body is in her control again, she slides one foot behind the other in a defensive stance, looking out across the unfamiliar faces around her. They all stumble and raise their hands to the blinding sun. Oh, goodness. How do I delete this? It's been a while since I've gotten one of those. Hold on. How do I delete a message? I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this as... ban. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. They all stumble and raise their hands to the blinding sun. Pearl has to admit that even she is having a tricky time seeing with how bright that ball of fire is. She blinks frantically in an attempt to drive the black dots from her eyes. A rumbling voice blares through from invisible speakers. Welcome, everyone, to Third Life. You have been given 3 lives. This will go until only one of you remains alive. Good luck. A man with brown fringe falling around dark eyes, dressed in a red jumper, sighs. Let's go. And then he turns around and walks into the oak forest surrounding them. I think that could be a good thing to do. I'm gonna save that one, I think. I think we should also do the creeper section. This section, I think this is a good one. Pearl pokes her head out of the staircase mind up from the cave to find herself in the middle of a village. It's still dark somehow, even though she's been underground for an age. Laughter and chatter fill the air from the edge of the village, and firelight peeks over from that direction. Pearl climbs up the final few steps with a grunt. They're steep, even for her tall height. Suddenly, out of the darkness, a frightening hiss calls out from behind her. Pearl gasps and draws a long whip of water from a water skin she'd managed to acquire before heading into the caves beneath the surface, and flings it in the direction of the exploding creature. She'd run into quite a few of those monsters underground, and she has zero interest in losing her first life to one. Ah! A male voice cries out as he's viciously attacked. What did you do that for? I think that's a good one. I'm going to do that. I have a lot of snippets set up now. This is great. Well, he deserved it. He absolutely did. Okay. I think that's... I don't know. I don't know if there's any other part we can really use, because the rest of it is conversation, and I don't want to like cut off a conversation before it's done, but I just don't know if I'd have time to read all of this within 30 seconds, you know? Or this. Or... yeah, it'd probably be too long. Yeah, that's kind of my thought. We could do this. I'm Cleo, the woman says with a smile. Yeah, okay. Welcome to the village that everyone seems to have descended upon. I'm B-Dubs, a bug-eyed man with a painfully wide grin steps forward. I like your cloak, he nods to Pearl while wrapping his own green cloak around his shoulders. Pearl glances down at the red cloak she hadn't even processed that she had been wearing. Thanks. She gestures to the blue flowers in Cleo's hair. I like your flowers. Thank you. Cleo reaches up and presses their fingers against one of the petals. What's your name? Pearl. Pearl gives a smile. She likes these two. I think I could do this. Maybe not within, like, probably be a little longer than 30 seconds, but I think that's okay. But I think that would be good. I just think it's like a nice, wholesome moment. Because we have a lot of, like, tense moments. We should have some wholesome moments, too. I think I'll put that Friendships beginning. And honestly, I don't have too many like actual conversations in these snippets. Most of it's more interactions or like contemplation. Okay. So yeah, so we got through 2. And I have how many, out of curiosity, how many snippets do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's pretty good. That's a good amount. So yeah, that's definitely enough to film on Wednesday, but you know, you can always do more. So if in between, at any point really, if you're looking through any of my stories and you find snippets that you think would be good to film for this project that I haven't told you about, if you have any snippets that you like that aren't too long, please feel free to comment on that one shot with that snippet, or just that you like the one shot, want me to find some snippets, or you know, DM me on Instagram. And just let me know so that I can add them to my list. But yeah, so that was fun to go through that for the last like half hour. But we are going to end now because we're at the 2-hour mark. This was fun. This was a good stream. I had fun with this. So yeah, thank you to everyone who came and hung out. The one shot that we wrote today should be done and posted tomorrow. What you saw today on stream will be posted on AO3 tomorrow, and what you saw and a little bit extra will be posted on Patreon tomorrow. But yeah, thank you for coming, and I'm gonna sign off now, and hopefully I'll see you on Saturday. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I hope you have a good day. Yeah, have a good day and a good week. All right, bye.